He was asleep when the light appeared. It was not a gentle light. It was sharp and white, like a crack in the world itself. The man woke with a gasp, heart pounding, eyes burning as the room filled with a sound like tearing air. Before he could shout or move, something heavy landed on the bed beside him. The mattress dipped hard. The light vanished. Silence followed, thick and unreal. He lay frozen for one long second, every nerve screaming danger. His hand moved on instinct toward the small emergency flashlight on the bedside table. He switched it on and pointed it toward the shape next to him. A woman lay there. She was not human. Her skin had a faint silver tone, smooth and unmarked by hair. Thin glowing lines ran along her arms and neck like soft blue veins of light. Her chest moved fast as she breathed, shallow and uneven. Her eyes were closed tight, her face twisted in fear and pain, and she wore nothing. The man's shock lasted only a moment. His training, long buried under years of civilian life, snapped back into place. He sat up slowly, keeping his movements calm and controlled. Panic would help no one. He grabbed the blanket and covered her without hesitation, turning his head away to give her what dignity he could. His heart was racing, but his mind was already working, asking questions faster than he could answer them. How did she get here? What is she? Is she dangerous? Is she dying? She made a small sound, a broken whimper, and curled slightly under the blanket. Her hands clenched into the sheets like she was holding on to the world itself. "Easy," he said softly, not even sure she could understand. "You're safe. I won't hurt you." Her eyes opened. They were not human eyes. The pupils were oval, not round, and the irises shimmered with faint light like stars behind glass. They locked onto his face instantly, sharp and afraid. She tried to move, then cried out as pain shot through her body. Her hand flew to her head. The glowing lines along her skin flickered. He raised both hands slowly, palms open. "I won't touch you," he said. "You're safe here, I promise." She stared at him, breathing hard, chest rising under the blanket. Her gaze moved around the room, taking in the walls, the window, the dim light of the city outside. Confusion mixed with terror. She spoke. The sounds were musical, layered, nothing like any language he had ever heard. Her voice shook, breaking at the end like she was close to tears. "I don't understand you," he said gently, "but you're not alone." She tried again, her voice weaker this time. When she realized he still did not understand, despair washed over her face. Then she did something unexpected. She bowed her head. It was a small movement but full of meaning, a gesture of surrender or maybe trust. That was when he understood something important. Whatever she was not here to attack. He stood slowly and moved away from the bed. He grabbed a spare shirt and pants from a drawer and placed them on the edge of the mattress, then stepped back again. "For you," he said, pointing gently. "Clothes." She watched him carefully. After a moment, she nodded once and pulled the blanket closer, shielding herself as she reached for the clothes. Her movements were awkward, like she was unfamiliar with them, but she managed. He turned fully away, giving her privacy. While she dressed, his thoughts raced. He was an ordinary man by most measures. A former soldier, yes, but now just another human living quietly on a crowded planet. There were billions of people on Earth. Why here? Why him? A soft sound told him she was done. He turned back. The clothes hung loose on her smaller frame, but she looked calmer now. The glowing lines on her skin had dimmed, though they still pulsed faintly. She met his eyes again. Slowly, carefully, she placed one hand over her chest and spoke a single word. "Lyra." "Lyra," he repeated, pointing to himself. "Adam." Her eyes widened slightly. She nodded, repeating his name in her strange accent. "Adam." Something eased in his chest at that moment. Names mattered. Names meant people. Before he could say anything else, the air in the room shifted. Not light this time. Not sound. Pressure. Lyra stiffened. Her eyes went wide with sudden fear. The glowing lines on her skin flared bright blue. She looked at Adam and shook her head violently. No, she whispered in broken, accented English. The word sounded practiced, learned long ago. Not safe. Adam felt it then too, a low hum in his bones. The windows rattled slightly. "Who's coming?" he asked, even though he knew she might not understand everything. She grabbed his arm, cold, lighter than expected, stronger than it looked. "They follow," she said, forcing the words out. "I run, jump wrong here." His mind snapped into action. Years of drills and instincts returned fully now. "Okay," he said. "Okay, we'll hide." He did not ask questions. He did not hesitate. He moved. He grabbed his jacket, his phone, keys, and led her quickly out of the bedroom. The building was old, narrow halls and thick walls. He took her down the stairs instead of the elevator, every step controlled. The hum grew louder. Outside, the night air was cool. The city lights glowed like nothing unusual was happening at all. Adam led her into an alley, then through a service door he knew well, an abandoned storage space, forgotten by most people. He had used it once during a blackout years ago. Inside, he shut the door quietly. They waited. The hum peaked, then faded. Lyra sagged against the wall, exhausted. She slid down to the floor, breathing hard. "They scan," she said softly. "Missed." Adam let out a slow breath he did not realize he was holding. He crouched in front of her, careful not to invade her space. "Why you?" he asked gently. "Why me?" She looked at him for a long moment. Then she touched her temple, then pointed at him. "Human," she said. "You different," he frowned. "Different how?" She struggled with the words, frustration clear. Finally, she tried another way. "My people," she said slowly, "see humans, strong, loud, dangerous." He gave a small, humorless smile. "Some of us." She shook her head. "No, inside." "Choice?" She looked him directly in the eyes. "You could hurt, you did not." The words hit harder than he expected. He had covered her, protected her, given her space. To him it felt normal, basic. To her it meant everything. "They never choose mercy," she continued quietly. "So system choose you?" "System?" he asked. She nodded. "Emergency jump, last rule," she swallowed. "Find those who protect weak." Adam sat back slightly, stunned. Across the galaxy, some unknown intelligence had decided that, when all else failed, a human would be the safest place to land. Sirens wailed faintly in the distance. Life continued on Earth, unaware that first contact had already happened in a forgotten room between two people who should never have met. Adam looked at Lyra, small and glowing in the dim light, hunted by forces far beyond his world. "Well," he said after a moment, "I guess you're stuck with me." She blinked, then something soft appeared on her face. A smile, not wide, not sure, but real. And somewhere far above the planet, unseen eyes turned toward Earth, finally paying attention. The galaxy had just made a mistake. Or perhaps, for the first time, it had made the right choice. Morning came slowly, like the world was unsure if it should exist after what had happened in the night. Adam sat on a broken chair in the storage room, elbows on his knees, eyes never leaving Lyra. She slept curled against the wall, wrapped in his jacket. The faint glow on her skin was dimmer now, steady, like a calm heartbeat. Every few minutes she shifted slightly, as if expecting danger even in her sleep. He had not slept at all. His mind kept replaying the events again and again. The light, the fear in her eyes, the way she had trusted him without knowing who he really was. Trust was a heavy thing. He felt its weight now. Outside, the city woke up. Cars passed, people talked. Somewhere, someone laughed. Earth moved on, unaware that something from the stars was hiding in an old building. Lyra stirred and opened her eyes. For a moment, panic flashed across her face. Then she saw Adam. Recognition followed, relief. "You stayed," she said quietly. Her English was still rough, but better than before. "Yeah," he replied. "I wasn't going anywhere." She sat up slowly, wincing. He noticed the glow on her skin flicker again. "You're hurt," he said. She nodded. "Jump damaged me, not body only, system too." He did not fully understand, but he understood enough. She was not okay and time was not on their side. "They'll come back?" he asked. Yes, she answered without hesitation. They always do. Adam stood and paced once, then stopped. Fear tried to rise, but he pushed it down. Panic was useless. Action mattered. Then we don't stay here, she looked at him sharply. They scan wide, city, planet. He met her gaze. Then we stay where they won't look. Where? She asked. He thought of crowded places, cameras, noise, then the opposite. My old base, he said, not military anymore, shut down years ago, deep ground, shielded. Her eyes widened slightly. Hidden. As much as anything on this planet can be. She nodded once. Better than nothing. They moved carefully. Adam avoided main roads, used public transport only briefly, blending in with early commuters. Lyra wore a cap pulled low and kept her head down. To anyone watching, she looked like a tired, sick woman. No one looked twice, but Adam felt it. That pressure again, faint, distant like a storm beyond the horizon. They reached the old base by noon. A forgotten facility buried under rock and rust, officially sealed, unofficially ignored. Adam still remembered the codes. Some things never left you. The heavy door opened with a groan. Inside, the air was stale but dry. Emergency lights flickered on as Adam restored partial power. The place felt like a ghost of his past life. Lyra stepped inside and froze. She closed her eyes, her head tilting slightly. They were here, she said softly. Yeah, Adam replied. Humans, she looked at him. You lived here, long time ago. She walked slowly, touching the wall, feeling the thick metal. Crude, she said, then after a pause, strong. He smiled faintly. They settled in a secure room deep underground. Adam found old supplies, blankets, water. It wasn't comfortable, but it was safe. For now. As hours passed, Lyra grew stronger. Her English improved rapidly, like her mind was constantly learning, adapting. Why do they hunt you? Adam finally asked. She was quiet for a long time before answering. I helped build something, she said, something that could change power. Weapon? He asked. She shook her head. Choice, she explained slowly. Her people ruled through systems, predictions, control, no risk, no deviation. She had created a system that could choose differently, one that valued protection over power. They called it unstable, she said. I called it fair. So they want it gone, Adam said. Yes. And me with it. He leaned back, exhaling. Of course. The pressure returned that evening, stronger than before. Lights flickered, dust fell from the ceiling. Lyra grabbed Adam's arm. They found area. How long? He asked. Minutes, maybe less. Adam moved fast. He powered down everything except emergency shielding. Thick layers of human metal and stone surrounded them. Above, the ground trembled. A sound echoed through the base. Not loud, deep, like something enormous settling into place. They're here, Adam said. Lyra's face was pale. They will take me, he shook his head. Not happening. They are stronger, she said. You cannot win. Adam smiled, small and calm. I don't have to win, he said. I just have to make it hurt. The walls shook again. A low vibration passed through the base, searching, scanning. Lyra looked at him, truly looked. Why? She asked. You owe me nothing. He thought of the way she had bowed her head in surrender, of how she had trusted him when she had nothing else. Because someone should, he said. The vibration stopped. Silence. Then a voice filled the room, not through speakers, inside their heads. Human, it said, cold, perfect. You shelter stolen property. Lyra flinched. Adam stood taller. She's not property. A pause. Just long enough to feel wrong. Step aside, the voice said. You will not be harmed. Adam laughed quietly. That's usually a lie. The pressure increased. Pain stabbed behind his eyes, but he stayed standing. You are weak, the voice said. Your species survives by chance. Adam wiped blood from his nose. Funny, we say the same about you. Another pause. Then the walls screamed. Energy tore through the upper levels. Steel bent. Stone cracked. Alarms wailed. Adam grabbed Lyra and pulled her behind the thickest barrier. They're breaching, she said, panic rising. Good, he replied. That means they're close. He triggered something he had hoped never to use. Old defense systems, primitive by alien standards, nuclear hardened, dumb, resistant to scans, the base became invisible. Above them the alien presence hesitated. Confusion rippled through the pressure. "They can't see us," Lyra whispered. Adam nodded. "Humans learned long ago. Sometimes stupid systems survive better." The ground shook one last time, then nothing. Minutes passed, then an hour. The pressure faded. "They left?" Adam asked. Lyra listened with senses beyond his. Slowly she nodded. "For now." Adam slumped against the wall, exhaustion hitting him all at once. Lyra knelt in front of him, her glowing lines brightened softly. "You stood against them," she said. "They will remember." He met her eyes. "So will we." Somewhere above Earth, alien commanders reviewed data they did not understand. A primitive species had interfered. Not with strength, not with speed, with refusal. And for the first time, doubt entered their calculations. Humans were not supposed to matter, but now they did. The silence did not mean safety. Adam knew that even as he sat on the cold floor of the old base, his back against the wall, breathing slowly. Silence after danger was often worse than noise. It gave time for thinking, planning, and returning stronger. Lyra felt it too. She stood near the sealed door, her head tilted slightly, eyes unfocused as she listened to things Adam could not hear. The faint glow along her skin pulsed in slow waves, brighter than before. "They are far," she said finally, "but not gone." Adam nodded. "Figures." He pushed himself up and stretched his sore shoulders. Every muscle ached. His head still throbbed where the alien pressure had pushed against his mind. "They'll adapt," he said. "Whatever didn't work, they'll change." "Yes," Lyra replied. "They always do." She turned to face him fully. "They will not stop," she said softly. "Not now, not after this." Adam studied her face. There was fear there, but also something new, resolve. "So what happens next?" he asked. Lyra took a slow breath. "I finish what I started." She explained as best she could. The system she had created was more than an escape tool. It was a core decision engine, one that could override command structures. It could choose mercy over efficiency, protection over control. Her people had feared it because it removed certainty. "If it activates fully," she said, "their hierarchy breaks, power spreads." "And they can't have that," Adam said. "No." Adam walked to an old table and leaned on it. "So you need time." "Yes. And they won't give it." She looked at him. "Unless they are forced to," he smiled faintly. "Now you're thinking like a human." They worked together for hours. Adam mapped old tunnels, unused access shafts, places even modern scans might miss. He contacted people he trusted from his past, careful and indirect. No details, just favors, equipment, power cells, shielding materials. Lyra integrated her technology with human systems. It was not elegant, but it worked. Human machines were stubborn. They resisted control in ways alien tech did not. "Your systems fight back," she said with something like admiration. "We built them that way," Adam replied. "Nothing should obey blindly." As they worked, something changed between them. Not romance. Not yet, something deeper, partnership. When the pressure returned, it was stronger than ever. The base groaned as if the earth itself was uneasy. "They are angry," Lyra said, "and afraid." A new voice filled the air. Louder, sharper, human, it said. "You interfere beyond your station." Adam stood tall, feet planted firmly on the ground. "Yeah," he said, "we do that." The walls trembled. Lights shattered. "Step aside," the voice commanded. "This does not concern you." Adam laughed once, short and dry. "You came to my planet, it concerns me." Pain exploded behind his eyes. He dropped to one knee but did not fall. Lyra rushed to him. Her hands glowed brighter as she steadied him. "Stop," she shouted, her voice carrying power now. "You see him. He chooses to stand. You cannot calculate that." The voice hesitated. That hesitation was everything. Adam forced himself upright. Blood ran from his nose, but his eyes were clear. "You don't get it," he said. "Humans don't stand because we're strong. We stand because someone has to." The ground shook violently. Above them, alien forces descended in full strength. Not hidden now, not careful. The sky over the region darkened as ships broke atmosphere. People looked up in fear. Satellites went silent. Earth had been noticed. Adam activated the final sequence. Across the globe, signals spread through human networks, old systems, military channels, emergency frequencies, simple message, unknown hostile presence, planetary defense protocol, humanity stands together, governments argued for seconds. Then acted, human ships launched, not elegant, not fast, but many. Lyra watched the feed, stunned. "You unite so quickly," she said. Adam smiled through the pain. "We fight a lot, but when someone threatens all of us, that's different." The aliens struck first. Human defenses burned, cities shook, but humans adapted fast. Improvised shields, redirected power, used numbers where technology failed. Lyra activated her system. Across alien networks, commands faltered. Drones hesitated. Weapons paused mid-fire. Confusion spread like fire. The alien voice screamed now, no longer calm. "What have you done?" Lyra stood tall beside Adam. "I gave them choice," she said. "Something you denied them." The system spread further than she expected. Alien subordinates began to question orders. Some ships pulled back. Others shut down entirely. Not rebellion, awakening. Adam watched the battle unfold on cracked screens, human ships burning, alien ships retreating. "We're not winning," he said quietly. "No," Lyra agreed. "But you are not losing." The alien presence withdrew suddenly. Silence fell over the planet again. This time real, the sky cleared. The threat was gone, for now. Days later, Adam stood on a hill overlooking the city. Life was returning. Damaged buildings, burned streets, but people were rebuilding already. Lyra stood beside him, wearing human clothes now, blending in more easily. The glow on her skin was softer, almost peaceful. "They will not forget," she said. Neither side. Adam nodded. "That's okay." She looked at him. "What happens to me now?" He did not answer right away. "You could leave," he said finally. "Find somewhere safer." She shook her head. "There is no safer place." She met his eyes. "My people studied humans for centuries," she said. "They saw violence, chaos, fear." She placed her hand over her chest. "They did not see this." He felt something tighten in his throat. "You can stay," he said simply. "As long as you want," she smiled. This time it reached her eyes. Far beyond Earth, alien leaders argued. Calculations failed. Predictions broke. A primitive species had resisted them. Not with superior weapons, but with unity, mercy, and refusal to surrender. Humanity had made its first statement to the galaxy. It was simple: "We will protect those who stand with us." And that message echoed far into the stars.